My friends, hello. So, as I've been talking about mental health for the last couple of days, it made me think about the concern that I had for helping other people the first time that I was faced with helping a person in real crisis. I had a few experiences with helping people through some really pretty serious times, but there was one moment that really felt, whether it was the first or not, it was the one that stood out as the first. I was working with a group of high school students. I had 44 high school students I was working with 5 days a week, 4 hours a day in their school, and it was a really a unique experience. It was kind of outside of my comfort zone. I work with adults. I work with people in corporate environment. Working with high school students was a little bit different. But I quickly became friends with all these young people and really came to appreciate them and learn from them. And it was a really neat experience that I had the opportunity to be there to serve specifically this one boy. He was the quarterback of the football team. He was tall and athletic and well liked, and he had good grades, and just the stereotypical high school boy. And he had everything going for him as far as anyone could tell from the outside. And he came to me one day after the class. He pulled me aside and he said, "I think about suicide every day of my life." And I was just stunned because I would have. There were a couple kids that we were working with that I knew were contemplating, kind of passively self-harm and things like this, and we were working to help them. But there was this one boy that I would have never pegged him for thinking like this, and it really shocked me. And I had known from the training that I had been a part of to not react in a shocked way, but to instead ask questions. And I had him tell me a little bit more about what was going on. And I said, I'm hearing you tell me what's happening right now. And I'm really confused. You have pain and you have a solution to end this pain, and you're choosing not to take that solution. And I looked him right in the eye. I said, "Why haven't you killed yourself?" And so that sounds super cold and aggressive and uncaring. And actually, what's interesting is that's exactly how you handle working with somebody who's contemplating taking their lives. Because somebody who's at that point has nothing left to lose, and they're going to tell you exactly what's going on. And so if you confront them head on, that's how you can move them forward. So I asked this guy why he didn't kill himself. And he just started crying. And he said, I couldn't do that to my mom. I couldn't leave her with all that pain. I just couldn't do it. And he's crying, I asked if he'd like a hug, and I'm hugging this guy and holding him, and he calms down a little bit, and I said, I hear what you're saying. I hear that you're in pain. I hear that you can end your pain, and I hear you saying that you would rather endure pain than cause pain for someone else. And when I hear that, that to me is what a leader does. They do what they need to do to help make sure that other people don't have to suffer. That's a leader. That's the kind of person I want to follow. You're the kind of person I want to follow. Bawling, crying again, hugs me. We stand there and until he's good. We deal with what we got to deal with and help him out. He comes to me at the end of the program a few weeks later, and we got him entirely past this episode, and he he comes to me and he hugs me, and he said "You saved my life." And that's the boy that stands in my mind anytime I think of the opportunities I've had to help people with their mental health, and anytime I share a story with other people on how you can help somebody in their time of extreme need, to really be present and to be assertive, because if you do it wrong, then things aren't going to go the way that anyone wants. It's a scary moment if you're ever faced with it. I hope none of you ever are. And now in the event if you ever have to experience something like this, how to help somebody. To be present, to ask assertive questions, and to give them love and really hold them up for the great things, anything that you can find to hold them up for. What happens when you do this is they are going to feel more confident, more powerful, more in control, which is what they're lacking in that moment. You can give that to them by giving them this love and by giving them this time.